Did you know the Nobel Prize in Medicine was once awarded for discovering how your cells eat themselves? It sounds alarming. It's actually the opposite. It's your body's built-in repair system, and it's called autophagy. I'm a scientist, and I'm going to walk you through every stage of it, backed by real, peer-reviewed research. But here's the part almost nobody tells you. Autophagy isn't one switch that flips on at hour 16. It's a 5-step repair cycle, and most people shut it back off before it ever gets going. Stay till the end, because the thing that decides how much repair you actually get isn't how long you starve yourself. It's something much simpler, and almost nobody does it right. Stage 0, the fed state. Let's start where you probably are right now. You just ate. Think of every cell in your body as a stretch of highway. And right now, that highway is in permanent rush hour. Bumper to bumper, cars pouring over it every second. There's a controller keeping it that way. Scientists call him mTOR. His whole job is to keep the traffic moving, keep it flowing, keep it open, don't close this road. And here's what every driver already understands. You cannot repair a road while cars are pouring over it. As long as the traffic never stops, the cracks never get fixed. They just get deeper. The damage piles up for months, and nobody is allowed to touch it. So the entire game of autophagy comes down to one thing: getting the traffic to stop long enough for the crew to get on the road. Stage 1. Initiation. The cleanup signal switches on. This is the one step that actually depends on you. Somewhere around 10 to 16 hours after your last meal, the fuel your liver had stored runs low, insulin falls, and the controller finally steps back. The road closes. The repair crew is cleared to get on. This is the trigger, the ignition. And it's the only part of the whole process you're really in charge of, because everything after this happens automatically once it fires. So what do you actually feel here? Hunger. Sharp, loud hunger. But here's the trick almost nobody knows. That hunger is mostly a clock, not an emergency. Your body releases a hunger hormone at the exact times you usually eat, out of pure habit. It has almost nothing to do with whether you actually need food. So the road just closed, the crew is ready to roll. You felt a hunger pang, and you waved the traffic straight back on before a single repair began. Here's the part that changes everything, so stay with me. Once that cleanup signal fires, the next 4 steps run start to finish on their own. You don't unlock them one by fasting longer and longer. The whole repair cycle completes in minutes to hours, which means the real question was never, how long can I fast? It's, did I switch it on, and did I keep it on? Hold that thought. It's about to flip everything you've heard about fasting. Stage 2, nucleation. A new membrane starts to form. Once the signal fires, the crew rolls out the cones and walls off the damaged stretch, sealing it away from the live lanes. Nothing's been torn up yet. The work zone is just being set up so the repair can happen without spilling into the rest of the road. Stage 3. Elongation. The membrane wraps and seals the waste. Then the barrier grows and closes all the way around. The damaged section is now completely sealed off. Every crack, every worn-out patch, boxed inside the work zone and cut off from the live road, ready to be dealt with. Stage 4. Fusion. The sealed sack joins the recycling center. The heavy equipment arrives. Milling machines grind up the ruined asphalt, tear out the broken sections, and carry all of it off to the plant. This is the moment the sealed-up damage finally reaches the place that can actually break it down. Stage 5. Degradation. The waste is broken down and reused. Here's the part that makes this whole system remarkable. That torn-up old asphalt doesn't get thrown away. It gets melted down and repaved right back onto the same road. With the highway closed and nothing trucked in from outside, your own road is the only material you'll ever get. So the stretch that was cracked and crumbling comes back smoother than before, rebuilt from the wreck of what it used to be. That's the full cycle. Signal, wall it off, seal it, haul it, rebuild. 5 steps, and once step 1 fires, all 5 run to the end. So here's the truth that fasting culture gets backwards. The person stuck getting nothing isn't the one who only reached stage 3. It's the one who barely switched the signal on, or switched it on and then shut it straight back off. Because there's one thing that slams this entire process off in seconds, and most people do it without thinking. The thing that shuts it off, and the 3 things that keep it running. The fastest way to kill the whole repair cycle is to spike your insulin. And nothing does that faster than breaking a fast with sugar or refined carbs. The second that happens, the controller waves the traffic right back on, and every repair in progress stops mid-job. So break your fast on protein or fat first. Eggs, fish, before anything sweet. And here's the freeing part. Fasting is only one way to switch this on. You don't need to grind out longer and longer fasts to get more repair. Move your body. Moderate exercise triggers the same repair signal through a completely different route, even when you've eaten normally. Sleep. Your brain runs its own overnight cleanup that only clocks in during deep sleep, when the channels between brain cells widen and flush out the day's buildup. Skip sleep and you cancel one of the biggest repair shifts your brain gets, no matter how you timed your meals. And black coffee may actually help wave the crew in, rather than keeping the road open. So here's what I want you to walk away with. Autophagy is not a switch that rewards you for surviving to some heroic number of hours. It's a 5-step repair cycle, and once it fires, it runs all the way through on its own. The people getting the deepest results aren't the ones fasting the longest out of pure stubbornness. They're the ones who switch it on reliably and then don't immediately shut it back off. A reasonable fasting window to trigger it. Movement to fire it a second way. Real sleep to run the overnight crew. And breaking the fast in a way that doesn't slam the road back open the moment the crew got to work. The cracks were always there, and so was the crew, waiting to fix them. You don't have to starve yourself to unlock some secret final level. You just have to switch the process on and get out of its way. One honest note for anyone considering longer fasts. Fasts beyond a day aren't right for everyone, including people who are pregnant or breastfeeding, managing blood sugar or on medication, or with any history of disordered eating. Talk to your doctor first. This is education, not medical advice. So, tell me honestly, how long do you typically fast?